Does every single person have an animal totem with them at all time?
Well, I believe that everybody has guardian angels, and yes, there are totems, and those totems change as the person raises their consciousness.
Okay.
There was a man that I saw one time. I was traveling and teaching in Texas, and I looked at him, and all of a sudden the metaphoric story came to me, and it was about an owl, and a wise old owl, and his feet were stuck in this one place in the branch of a tree, and he couldn't move. And all he had was these leaves over the top of his head to protect him from the weather and the rain and the wind. And all of a sudden, one day, a woodpecker came in and landed on the branch and knew what the owl needed. And so the woodpecker went over, and he just started pecking away at this tree and created an opening for the owl.
Yeah.
And what this meant and this was so sweet, the way this went down, is that I was able to tell this gentleman that there was a wonderful person coming into his life that was going to make him feel as though he had come home to them. And I'm chilling right now from going back and remembering that man's eyes and his looking at me, because it hit into him as a truth. And when you feel it right here, it is a truth. So as the audience is listening to me, and the audience out in the Portland area, and eventually this does go on YouTube, everything that you feel right here needs to be trusted, because this is God's way of giving us a way of trusting what's going on out here from a completely different level, and also what's going on inside of us. If something's bad for us, if we just asked ourselves that question, is this good or is this bad? We have an answer. Is this just like the body? You can have a scale, which is symbolic, a scale from 1 to 10. And you say to the scale, what condition are my kidneys in? Because we have an awful lot of problems with diabetes and heart condition, high blood pressure, and they're all connected, you see. The kidneys are symbolic of emotions. Okay?
That's interesting.
Diabetes means there needs to be more sweetness in somebody's life. But when you look on a scale, if 10 is high and 1 is the lowest, and it comes in over here at 6 or 7, you need to detox your kidneys. Now you've challenged your kidneys.
So do you see then certain organs around someone then? And then in that, then do you then know what to address in that, or does Spirit then give you other
Yes, there's
symbols?
other tools. If one is weak, I'll go to another tool. I'll enter into the chakra system, and truly, the chakra system, even if you don't understand it completely, you need to understand it's been around longer than Christianity. It is a energy medicine tool to understand that our body is energy, it's water, it's electromagnetic, it's biochemical. And if we take the quantum science and we start really applying it in our lives now, which I believe it absolutely has to happen if we're going to survive the next 10 to 15 years in a society that basically is got a youth that basically is going, I don't know if I'm going to have an adult life. I don't know if I'm even going to have a future. Kids are dealing with more fears and more stress than any of us have ever had to deal with. They really are under a lot of stress. So they're looking for coping mechanisms, and of course the alcohol and drugs take them out, you see.
Sometimes they just check out.
Well, because they don't have a language for it. They don't have somebody who understands their language and is communicating with them. And today we have more empathic children on the planet and psychic children on the planet than ever before. And yet, where are their teachers? And I really plan to be addressing that. I'm going to run a class for children who are empathic and adults that are empathic, so that they can learn how to take care of themselves.
Why are there more empathic and psychic children on this planet now than there ever has been in recorded history?
Well, because they have a different DNA. They have a different blood type. They are advanced and the ancestors have talked about them coming. It's just that they didn't exactly come into a world that's peaceful. And they're so empathically, they take on all the disturbances around them, you know, and it can cause some serious emotional damage.
Are they here for a shift, if you will? I mean,
They're here for us.
They're here for us.
Yeah, they are our teachers. Okay, I wanted to give sort of a little bit of an outline of the symbols and archetypes in a way that's sort of like a bottom line. And as I sort of move along, if you feel like you want to discuss something, let me know.
Yeah, good.
Okay.
Yeah.
First, we want to state that it is the language of the senses.
Okay.
Okay, it's a platform to communicate with spirit.
That one I get. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I knew you would.
Yeah.
Psychically, it's a world of form. When you're having a meditation, and I'll give you an example, you're visualizing that you're wanting to release stress. You're wanting to calm down your nervous system. You visualize maybe sitting on a rock in a beautiful meadow. Maybe it's got water running through it. You're putting some of the elements, the natural elements, into this visualization. You're using your senses to hear the water, smell the air, feel the sunshine. You're using all of your senses, which takes you there more in that platform than in the physical third dimensional. So it's a bridge into fourth, fifth dimension experience. Okay?
Okay.
The ancients and the indigenous, this is nothing to them. They've been doing this a long time.
It's just part of their life.
No, our culture dogmatically wants to prevent us from having that bridge. There's reasons for that. Okay? So you're in this meadow, you're having this sensory experience, and then you say, you know, I would like to meet a guardian, or I'd like you to show me a totem. Okay? And all of a sudden, you have maybe an angel shows up, or maybe you have an animal of some kind. Maybe it's horse. Well, horse means playful.
Okay.
Horse would mean that you have forgotten how to play and you need to play more. And watching that horse play out there in that meadow is such a beautiful experience. You get it. You know, it's just like if you saw a goat and you followed the goat. You know, goats are stubborn.
Yeah.
Okay, married one.
Yeah.
Capricorn. Anyway, so you follow the goat, and the goat keeps turning around and says, no, follow me. You can tell. Like a cat. You know when a cat wants you to follow it. And it starts climbing, okay? And it starts taking you up the rocks, okay? And it keeps turning around and watching. It'll take you to a vista, a place you've never been before, and you're going to see something that you've never seen before. Let me tell you a story. This is a true story, and it really affected my life. It's all about symbolism. It's all about archetype, okay? And this is how powerful it gets. There was a time in my life when I was going through a difficult time, and I was praying for God to give me guidance, for God to strengthen me. And I was very sad. I was bordering on a little bit of depression. And this is what happened. I was sort of taken out of my body a little bit, which surprised. This whole thing was a surprise to me. I didn't make it up. You don't make up this type of experience, and we can have them when we're using this platform and get comfortable.